So, Clarissa, you joined us back in January 2024, so just over 2 years ago now. Can you just start by describing what was life like for you before you joined Level Up and essentially what made you then join?
Yeah, so life before Level Up, which is a very long time ago now, like having to think back. Um, I would say I've always been an active person, always interested in that side of things, growing up, always into different sports, studying sport. But in terms of for me, I was never consistent with anything. I would always have the start Monday mentality because I thought I'd gone off track or done something that meant I have to start again. Um, Never really had a clear structure or routine. I would say the main things I followed was a typical calorie deficit, just look at what my watch said and try to eat less than that. But then if I went over, I'd be like, it's all right, I'll just start again. So kind of just plodded on every day. I kind of knew I wanted to change. I knew I probably had more in me. But I never really had the drive or momentum to do anything about it. I just carried on as normal because I thought, well, I'm okay. It's all right. Um, Eating habits weren't bad, but they weren't good. And now looking back at what I know, yeah, it wasn't great compared to what I'm eating now and what I'm doing. But I would just have that thing of like, oh, this won't hurt, or just one more, or like no one's going to know because I had no one to make me accountable for it. Back then, I didn't do it for myself. I didn't have that motivation of like, do it for you. And because no one was checking or seeing, I could just get away with things, I guess. Um, I think it's crazy now to think if I never had my wedding book, which was the reason I joined Level Up in the beginning. So I had a year and 5 months before that I decided to join Level Up. And that was the main reason to join for the wedding, to lose weight as you typically would. But it's crazy to think now that if I didn't have that wedding book, I would never have joined Level Up. And I'd probably in the same cycle as I was for all those years. Because for me, I had to have an end goal. I had to have a reason for joining. I messaged Rach numerous times over years before he got fed up of me. But I just never committed. I like wanted to, but I also thought I never could do it. I think that was the thing as well. But and I was never unhappy or like thought I needed to change. But until that change has happened, I realized how much I definitely would have benefited from it a long time ago.
Yeah. And do you know what? The reason I was laughing so much then about your indecisiveness, shall we say, to join is because we've obviously known each other for years. And I've known that you've always been like an active person and dipped your foot in and out of sports and stuff like that. But I guess I probably knew from our conversations that we were having that you did want more, but you couldn't quite see it yourself at that point, which is, and I could be wrong, but maybe that was part of the reason that you held back because you, as you said, you didn't at that moment when we first spoke have the deadline of your wedding. So it was like, I could do it, but is there any point of doing it? Like I'm active and constantly going back and forth. Obviously, the wedding has passed, as sad as that is. So we
Yeah.
are just over 2 years in. What have you achieved in the past 2 and a bit years since joining?
Jeez, where do I start? I think the bottom line is that I've learned a new way of life. Like my life is so different to now. And I think, like I said, back to before, like I am who I am now and what I do now because of you and Level Up. Like I wouldn't be in this position, which is crazy because I think how good I feel and am now. But my life has just changed in all aspects. And it's just shifted from I want to join for losing weight for the wedding to actually having a new way of life, a new lifestyle, new habits. So my priorities have changed. I'm so much happier in my own body, have so much more energy and confidence in everything I do. I did get myself in the best place for my wedding and I felt amazing. So like the goal was hit. But during it, that process, I realized it was so much more than that. And I knew the deadline would carry on past it. Like it wasn't just a, hit that deadline and then I'm done. Like I knew I had so much more to give. Um, I'm eating more than I ever thought I would, which for me is great because I love food.
She's a foodie, everyone, in case you didn't
Very much a
know.
foodie, but that proves you can do it as with being a foodie.
Yeah.
And I'm now maintaining my weight and my physique with being a foodie and socializing. I consistently go to the gym and run every week. Like that to me isn't a chore, it's a non-negotiable for me. I'm doing that for myself. I enjoy it. I'm always asking Rach for more and changing things and doing random challenges because that's what I enjoy. Um, I ran a half marathon last year with the Level Up Girls, which was amazing, which I never thought I was going to be able to do. And then I've got my next one in a week, which is a trail one, which is just bizarre. Like, who does that? And I never thought I
Literally.
would. I never thought I would, like, let alone a normal half, but then a trail one. But it was out of my comfort zone, but now it's in my comfort zone because I enjoy it. Um, I've taken part in a Level Up photo shoot, and that was just before the wedding, and ran with half marathons. It was all going at once, but felt great in that as well. And I think the main thing is I've transitioned now into like doing this all for me. Like, sorry, Rach, but it's not for you anymore. Like, whereas before I was doing it to prove to you I could do it. Like I was paying you, like you were telling me what to do. I was like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Whereas now, like I don't need to prove it to anyone. Like I'm doing this for myself. I've now made myself accountable for what I'm doing, and it's become my new normal. Having my high standards, but also balancing my busy life and social life and with health and fitness. Um, and like we said a minute ago, but for me, I've learned how to still enjoy things in life. I think that's a massive achievement on the program of coming in and it not being like you can't do that, you've got to change that, but actually how do you manage what you're now telling me and I'm learning from you, but also putting it into my everyday life because I didn't want to stop socializing. I don't want to stop eating. I love a prosecco, but
I
I
was
want
waiting for that.
but I want to do those things whilst also getting results and maintaining them. And I was able to do that. It took me longer than what it would have done if I fully went in and didn't do those things. But I was very honest with you in the beginning of I wanted to keep those things in. Um, because I always thought to lose weight, you'd have to be on a diet. You couldn't enjoy nice food, nice drinks, which is, I think, why also I didn't join for so long because I thought you were going to tell me, right, you need to do that, cut that, you just need to eat some broccoli and spinach. But actually, like, you don't give any nutrition in terms of like, tell me what to eat or not eat. It's actually learning about the foods and how you can add that into what you currently do and just make those little changes that makes all the difference. And I think that's why I was so stubborn to change before because I didn't want someone telling me that I can go out for food or have a prosecco.
It's become a running joke, hasn't it? That
Yeah.
you love your Prosecco. So any event that we run, we have to just disappoint her politely and just say there's no Prosecco here, Clarissa, today. But in all seriousness, you're so right. And I think the important thing to take from all of that, or two things actually, is number one, you've achieved so much more than you ever thought possible. And that goes back, right to our first ever conversation years ago. But also number two, like, so what? It takes you an extra month to lose the same amount of weight, but in that time you've still been able to enjoy your life. Like, surely that is what this is all about, right? Because what's the point in achieving a goal if you can't actually enjoy the process to get there?
Absolutely. And for me as well, it's like I could get to that goal, but then I wouldn't be able to maintain that because I'll
Yeah.
go back to those habits that I do enjoy that is okay in the balance. But if you said at the beginning, right, cut it all out, and I think that's what some people do is cut everything out in the beginning and they get those results, but then they can't maintain them because the habits will creep back in because you've deprived yourself for so long.
Mm.
Where it's about balancing it of how what you still enjoy but what's also good for you and having that balance. And yeah, it takes a little bit longer, but now I don't need to change anything. I'm still doing what I did when I joined, and I'm still maintaining. I'm still achieving those goals that I want.
Yeah. 100%. You obviously, as we've said a few times, were on the fence for a while, and there's going to be so many people listening to this that are also on the fence and have been for a while. What would be your biggest piece of advice to those people?
I think for me, like when I was looking to join, obviously in the numerous conversations that we had, it was about losing weight. And I think that is most women's kind of what they look for is to lose weight. But for me, it's made me realize that it was so much more than that. Like all your training you do on nutrition, your health and fitness in the gym, lifestyle that's created new habits that I do now daily without even forcing it. And I've set those new standards and I enjoy it. It's not a chore. So I guess the main message is saying that like level up isn't a diet plan. It's not just to lose weight. It's so much more than that. And you get so much more from that I've ever known from a product. Like there's no diet plan. There's no don't do this, like I said before. It's about changing your lifestyle, learning about the nutrition and training to build that confidence. And that's what Level Up will do. It'll make you accountable as you have Rach and the other women in the group as well who are in similar situations to support so you're not on your own. And then everything else then falls into place. So like I joined to lose weight for my wedding, but soon realized it was so much more than that. And then the shift of losing weight started shifting away from that instead of like learning new habits and a way of life. So then when I got to that deadline, like most people ask me, oh, so you've got your wedding, so are you leaving Level Up, or are you stopping going to the gym now, are you gonna stop meal prepping? And I kind of laughed because I was like, no, of course not. Like it didn't even come into my head because it's not about that end goal. It was more about creating a lifestyle habit. But when I was looking at joining, it was a goal of losing weight. And I think people look at losing weight for the summer or an event, and that's why they do like diets or quick fixes to get the result for that event. But what they need to know is like it's about the lifestyle changes. That's the important thing. So if you change your lifestyle habits, rather than go through the depressing cycle every year of getting in shape for the summer and then go back and enjoy your Christmas and then start again. Once you have those new habits, the weight loss just happens. Like you stop thinking about it and it happens just as a result of everything else changing in your life. And like knowing that you aren't on a diet or a big fitness plan, like you can still eat and do the things you enjoy while on Level Up. Like you don't need to give anything up. So even if like the goal is to lose weight, join and you'll soon realize it's so much more than that, but then the weight loss will happen as a result of changing these new habits.
I think that's so important. It's like at the end of the day, everyone's going to have a different goal, right? And as you said, most women do want to lose weight. That is why most women invest into a coach, or especially why they come on board on Level Up. And the the hardest thing, especially for me as a coach, and I'm glad that you've said this stuff, the hardest thing for me is I can in my head picture where someone's going to be in 12 months when they join, but that person can't picture that because they've never been there. And so it's having that people like yourself who have now done that to be like, no, this will actually happen and this is actually going to be the result that you will get, not just see the number on the scale change.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you saw so much potential in me from day one. And it is really hard because you're like, I've never been in that position. And also, I've never been this consistent. You're telling me I need to do this every single day. Like, it is like, oh my days, like, how can I do this? But as you just tick the boxes every single day, it becomes so much easier. And then, like I said, it becomes these habits that now is not a chore. Like, it's life for me. Like, I've never said that I've been on a diet. I've never been on this crazy fitness plan. I do what I do because I enjoy it. Like all the stuff I even eat, like the nutrition training, like it's not a force. I enjoy, I like those things that I eat. I like the way it makes me feel. And yeah, it's like that balance of, yeah, I still have the sweet treats and still have my glass of Prosecco. But it's changing most of those daily habits for that long-term benefit. And then actually, if you stop fixating on the actual goal, that will happen as a result of changing little habits every day.